I didn't actually hit go live. Shit. There we go. Now I'm live. Yeah. How's it feel to be live? I'm talking to no one. It's fun. No hot fox in the thumbnail. I'm sorry. You know, I don't want to overuse Nick. I guess I could put other hot animals in the thumbnail, but I don't know anything about hot animals, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anything about hot animals. I don't know anything about hot animals. Hi, can you guys hear my voice okay? Can you hear my voice? Hi, David. How's it going? How are you? Can you hear my voice? Awesome. Stretch and Strega on the rack medieval style. Yeah, actually, we are. I actually did a lesson on this yesterday with Matt Sparling, who is a musician that I do lessons with. I'll walk you through what's going on here. It's fun. So I'm making an instrument. I'm making a hot animals. I'm making a sample pack. Excuse me, not a sample pack. A Ableton live pack, which will also include samples of Strega. It's been fun. It's almost done. All of these are instrument racks over here. I'll just play through some real quick. So, got this one. This one's just noise, basically. Some of these are going to be more noisy than other ones. It's spooky. This is cool. I got a vocoder on this one. It sounds like little voices. So some of these are going to be good for like sound design and sound tracking. Well, this one's creepy as shit. It's all going to be like ambient, sound design, post-rock, that kind of stuff. Just because someone in my Discord was like, hey, you should make a Strega pack. And I was like, well, to do that, what I need to do... That's so cool. Is get all of them into instrument racks. It's spooky. I'm hoping some like some analog horror YouTubers or whatever get these. I could totally do like an analog horror soundtrack just with this pack. Actually, that's what the Strega is good for, is analog horror. But it can get really pretty, too. Which is actually pretty impressive. It reminds me a little bit of Disaster Piece's work for It Follows. It's like, you can be really, really pretty with it, but it's also really kind of disturbing. That's kind of my favorite thing, is that super hard post-rock sound, super distorted post-rock sound, but with really pretty stuff. Where is Galatia? Where is Galicia? It sounds like a place from Doctor Who. Yeah, the soundtrack really, really is great. I'm going to show you how I did this in just a second, but I do have to actually finish these up. I got to get through all of these ones still. So see how, like, there's all this movement in this? I'm just holding down one note right now. Is that fucking cool? North of Portugal? You know, I don't think I would mind living north of Portugal. That sounds really nice. I really like this one. You wrote a whole horror D&D one-shot based around that soundtrack? Yeah. I can imagine. That one's really cool. It's like this massive noise wave. This one's kind of cool. I got some of the rhythmic stuff in the Strega. It's like a spooky train. I realize I know I'm covering up a bunch of the rack stuff, so let me go ahead and move my face up here. Wow. And birds, you're going to go right here. There you go, birds. Get on over here. Put myself right there. Yeah. There we go. Much better. Much better. All right. What else do we got? I want to find some of the melodic ones. Oh, yeah. Just this. It's almost like an orchestra. Just like, you know, like brass and upper strings. All this crazy shit. And we have like an attack function here, so I can do leads. I like it. Makes me happy. Okay, what's the one that has... Oh yeah, some of these have pulses on them. Little polymetric pulse thing. It's just, I don't really do packs that often, but I really wanted to do something with Strega because it's so cool. Oh, this is, yeah, I think this is one of my favorites. So this one actually uses a single note from Strega that was passed through the Zoya. I have a thing on Zoya called Loop Forest. It's you can get it now on Patch Storage. If you go on to patchstorage.com and look for Loop Forest, you can run it on your Zoya, and it's like 4 loopers that all run together, and each one has a different pitch. Like there's sevenths, there's octaves, there's super octaves, and this is a single note run through that, and so you get the original tonic, but you also get these little warp, like little bloop, bloop, and it's so cool to take samples that have like this, like what do you call it, like extra stuff, extra texture, and put them in a sampler, because you just get this beautiful or interesting phasing of all these events. It's kind of like how, like, you know, the old, like the JV 1080s and 2080s and Romplers and stuff, you know, they'd have these simple samples in them combined with synthesis, and it would just be like really cool. Oh god, I love this one so fucking much. Oh shit, that interval was straight up Hollow Knight. Fuck, that's good. Thank you, RJ. I agree with you. So that's one of the prettier ones. Save room music. You know what? You are absolutely fucking right. It totally is save room music. And that's good. Okay, so let me show you how these are made. And then I'll continue working on the ones that I need to. We've got a fair amount of diversity here. Interstellar. Yeah, I'm the Matthew McConaughey of the Strega. We have reverb in the instrument. Let me show you how this works, okay? So I'll make one from scratch. Oh, I forgot. I'll keep that one. I made that one as a demo yesterday, and I'll just keep it. You know what I'm going to use? I'm going to try to find that. Let's see. Show in browser. I need to find that performance with the loop force thing. What is going on? There we go. Okay. Oh, thanks, Mikey. Appreciate that. Good old OP1 days when I had purpose. When I had a reason for being. No longer. I am adrift in my existence as a creative and as a person. Where the fuck is this performance? Also, I don't know if Famine is your last name, but Mikey Famine is a pretty dope name because, like, Mikey's kind of like fun, and then it's Famine, so it's like terrible. So you're both fun and terrible at the same time. It's a good vibe. Oh, here we go. I got it. Okay. So this was the performance I included at the end of the Strega video. It's a really pretty thing to kind of finally demonstrate that, yeah, the Strega can do musical stuff. But, I mean, really, a lot of it was the O-Coast and then the Zoya. So I'm going to find a portion in here that I want to play. Like, let's grab that. Let's grab this bit right here. This is cool. So I'm going to get rid of the rest. The first thing we want to do is tune it. So I want to tune this to C. Right now it's on F. So I will come in here and I will hit... do I want to hit warp? Yeah, I'll warp it here. Complex Pro, because anytime we're dealing with, like, material that has, like, no transients, I find, and we're going to warp it. Complex Pro helps quite a bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and warp this to C, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, 5 semitones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we come here, we'll see that we are close enough. That's fine. All right, so then I'll consolidate this. And consolidation just makes this little sample kind of be its own thing. Otherwise, it was part of that big old chunk. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a new MIDI channel. Don't need to put anything on it. Just make a new MIDI channel. And I'm going to drag this sample right down here. And when we do that, can Strega techno? That's a good question. Yes, I think Strega could be part of a techno sound. I think that is possible. But I think also it's really important to, hey Femto, how's it going? I think it's important to ask yourself what you mean by techno. Like, there's a lot of different techno out there. Yeah, whenever someone asks me about techno, I'm like, well, what techno do you mean? What kind of techno do you mean? And one of my goals for this week, I have my week to work on YouTube stuff, is finish up the script for the history of techno and what techno is, because it's one of those things a lot of people just don't really seem to understand. I don't properly understand all the genres and history of techno, so it's one of those things that I really wanted to do, and the script's like halfway done. I just dropped it on the floor, and I need to pick it up again. All right, so now we've got this sound in here. This is Simpler. This is Ableton's little sampler thing. It's the little mini sampler. It's very good, though. And so now I can press a key, and it will play back, and I can press any other key. And you'll hear that it plays back at a different pitch. And right now we're not warping. Mikey, that's great. I love it. Right now we are not warping this at all, so it's going to change, what do we call it? It's going to change pitch as we play it higher. Excuse me, it's going to change speed, because that's how simple repitching and retiming works. That's why jungle breaks sound the way they do, because they're all sped up and they are pitched up at the same time. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is probably find a loop point for this. So when we hold it down forever, it just loops. So I'm going to go ahead and turn loop on, which is the opposite of loop off, and loop up. And then we're going to set a loop right here. That's just wherever you want it to be. It's fine. I'm going to do some fade on the loop. And why am I not seeing any fading? What's a Strega pack? Azurium. The Strega is the Make Noise Strega. I just did a video on it. It's a very strange semi-modular synthesizer from Make Noise and Alessandro Cortini. Go check out the video on it if you haven't seen it. It's the last video I published on my channel. It's pretty fun. And I'm making a pack of Ableton instruments that you can play of the Strega and all different types of flavors and like vibes, mostly sort of post-rock, industrial, like, I don't know, just kind of noisy, cool stuff. So it's a sample library. You will get the samples, but you're also going to get all these Ableton instruments, and this is where the magic is going to happen. And that's what I'm working on right now. So I'm showing how one of these will be made. So you can see now that I have this looped right here. Oh, I don't, wait, no. There we go. There we go, something like that. Is it possible to divide the loop in section and randomize it so every note plays a different section? Yes, we can. We can randomize, oh, not in here. I'm sorry, not in Simpler, not easily. We can do that in Sampler, but I decided I didn't want to use Sampler. I wanted to use Simpler. Sampler will let you do that in the LFO section. You can do that. Slice, yeah, I mean, you could use Slice, but that's not going to repitch it. So for this purpose, I'm not doing that. So now we have this nice looped thing. You can hear it there. And I might go ahead and extend that a little bit, like that. Okay, great. Now what I want to do is, this one already has some stereo information. All the other Strega sounds were completely mono, but what I've been really enjoying is creating a really big stereo field out of this. So we need to have two of these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit group. Group puts whatever you've just selected into a rack, depending on what it is. In this case, it's an instrument rack. So now I have an instrument rack, which allows me to set up these macro knobs, and I can put stuff into this rack, and it will all play when I hit a note. So I'm going to take this right here. We'll call this, sound 1, and I'll go ahead and duplicate it. And I'm going to then hard pan these left and right. And sound 2 here, we're going to do something like reverse the sound. So I'll hit reverse sample, and then we do that. So now we have a left and we have a right, and they are reversed, and they are a big stereo image, and that's really, really cool. All right, so the next thing we want is probably some very large amount of reverb on this, and I'll just copy what I've been using on everything. I'm going to copy this whole effect rack here. Oops, excuse me. This effect rack and that and that. I'm going to copy all that. So we have a reverb and a delay. Now let me explain how this is working. So when you have an audio effects rack, if you have, you see this right here where it says grain delay. So that is this right here, grain delay and a reverb. If I go back to here, we'll notice that there's a little gap between these two racks. And you can see that both of these are going to pass through here into this. And when we do this, we now have a effect rack. We have this grain delay, which is going to add a shimmer sound. And I have a knob for that. So we'll call this knob shimmer. that is mapped. You can right-click on anything in here and just send it out to a macro knob. And the grain delay is set up with a pitch that goes up to an octave, and I think this is feedback right here, so we'll go ahead and call this shimmer feedback. I can turn this up and get even more. So that's a big part of the sound, is this shimmer reverb. And then we have a reverb after that right here. That's 100% wet, and we can control the decay of that. So we can get this really big sound on top of everything. But what I like to do with these audio effect racks is I like to have a really affected version, which is this, and then it's 100% wet. It should be. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this dry wet. I'm going to unmap this. There we go. This should be 100% wet there. So the grain delay is allowing a little bit of dry to pass through, depending on where we have this. But the reverb is 100% wet. So that means I'd like some of the dry sound back. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a chain. This chain is going to have nothing after it, and that's going to be completely dry. So if you have a rack like this, and then you don't put anything in the audio effects rack, or if you just put something transparent like a utility or something like that, the dry sound's just going to pass through. So that dry sound sounds like this, which already sounds pretty cool on its own. And then we have our wet sound, which we've already listened to. And the combination is what I'm looking for. So that's the effect rack there, and then I have a compressor and a limiter at the very end. All of these are going to get stuck together, and we're going to have some macro controls set up there. The next thing I like to do is I like to give people the option of adjusting their attack. So I'm going to right-click on this attack and map to macro 1, and then I'm going to right-click on this and say map to all siblings. And what that does is, if you go to sound 2 here, you'll see that attack is now mapped here. So now I have to be able to turn this into like a pad. And I'm going to go ahead and give ourselves some more release on both of these. And you can say just map to copy value to siblings, something like that. And now we have a fade in, which I kind of like. So that's the really basic thing that I've been doing here. Now, we have a lot more macro controls on most of these, you'll see, than we do. And that's because each instrument kind of gets its own little custom thing. So we're going to pass through shimmer, decay time, and shimmer feedback to this rack on the front once we rack this together. But we do have some other options here. Actually, I like to put filter on, I think on 2. Let's see. Where do I put filter usually? Oh, I usually put it on 1. Whoopsie doodle. I'm trying to be a little consistent. Okay, yeah, so let's fix that. So we'll come back here, and we will unmap this from VE attack, and we'll say map to macro 5 instead. And then I'll say map to all siblings. So now our attack's down here. And then our filter, which is right here. Let's go ahead and switch this to like an MS-20 or something. Just give it a little bit of character, little bit of drive, just a tiny bit, just to give it a little bit of that filter character, a little bit of resonance, just again to make the filter character stick out a little bit. And then we're map to macro 1 and copy value to siblings. Okay, so there we go. Now I have the ability to turn the filter down. The cool thing about this is the shimmer doesn't really care. You can hear it still kind of hanging out up there. So you can get some really interesting interactions with turning the filter down and having shimmer on there. Really pretty. This is just one of my favorite sounds. This is why shimmer reverbs are important. Now, there is a shimmer reverb in the hybrid reverb of Ableton, but I prefer the grain delay reverb combo. It gives me more control over the whole thing. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so the next thing I like to do is add some distortion to this. So I'm going to go ahead and find my favorite stock distortion thing, which is overdrive. And the reason I like overdrive so much is because of this frequency control right here. So this allows me to dial in exactly what frequencies I want the overdrive to do this. So I'm going to focus on this low part right here. So this is without, and that's with. Now you'll notice that the volume kind of increases a lot, and we're going to actually work on that. We're going to work on that with the magic of racking. So at this point, we're going to rack all these together like this. And I'm going to hit Control G. And there we go. Now it's a rack. And you'll notice that while this instrument rack is what we had before, we now have another one. We got racks in racks in racks in racks. So I'm going to start passing through some of these macro controls to racks, because this is still a linear from left to right expression of sort of connection. Even though we can break off into these little paths here by putting like, different sounds in here. I could get each one of these sound its own effect path if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. So let's start with our simple ones right here. I'm going to right click, go to macro 1. I'm going to right click, go to macro 5. So now this will be our final rack right here. This last one out here. I'll just go call this, let's call this, Souls for You. There we go. Great. Now let's go over here to our shimmer rack and pass those through as well. So I'm going to go right click, map to macro 2, map to macro 3, map to macro 4. And now you'll see that they're here. So we're building it out, we're getting there. Now for our overdrive, I'm actually going to add a utility after that, because the utility can be used to reduce the volume of this. And this is where some of the magic of these racks come through. So I know that I want to increase the dry wet of this to increase my distortion. So I'm going to go ahead and map that to 6. But the issue we have here, let me call this drive. The issue that we have here is it gets a lot louder. And I'd like to keep it sort of at the same perceived volume, even though because I want the drive to stick out. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go over to our utility here and map this to the same macro to drive. And now I'm not going to play this because it's going to fuck things up. But you'll see, first of all, that now our gain's at 0 and that our gain's at 35. So we're going to adjust that because that's not what we want. We want we want the utilities gain to be at 0, meaning unity right here. And when we go up, we want it to drop about 4 dB, 5 dB, something like that. So I'm going to hit this map button. And this brings up all of the macro connections for this particular rack. And I can see right here, we have overdrive and the utility. So what did I say? We want it to be default at 0. And then when this is up, I want this to be probably around -5. So let's listen to this now and see if it stays the same volume. I'd say we could probably drop this to like 8, 7. There we go. Now that maintains a steady volume throughout. And if you look over on the right here, where the overdrive and utility is, you'll see that I'm now controlling 2 things with specific ranges. And that's really where the magic of this rack system comes in, and macro system, is that you can do some really, really interesting things with it. Let's do another one kind of like that. So I'm going to duplicate both of these sounds, and we'll call these sounds 3. Oops, shit. And we'll call this sound 4. I'll go ahead and reverse pan them. And then 3, I'm going to go to my controls here, and I'm going to transpose this up, let's see, 19. So that would be a super 7th, I guess, a perfect 5th that's above an octave. So that sounds like this. Turn our shimmer down for right now. And then this one, I'm going to go, let's see, 12. Hey, my pleasure, dude. My pleasure. Syncretic music. So we were up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go up another 7th from that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe that's a supertonic, like that would be like in the key of C. It would be like a D, but like above our tonic an octave. So that should sound like this. And all together, we get this nice, rich interval thing. Now, another thing I like to do with these is with these interval ones, I like to give me the option of, and this is where like some of my modular experiments come in. I'm going to go into pitch and modulation and grab an auto pan. Auto pan will allow you to have a sound move around in the stereo field like this. But if you turn phase all the way down, it becomes essentially what's called like a tremolo. It's just volume at that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as another effect. And we're going to go ahead and copy this, put it here, and change the rate. We want these to have a different phase, so we'll go like that. Something like that. Okay, cool. So now these two things sound like this. See how they kind of have this almost swirling effect between the two? I like that quite a bit. So we're going to set up a couple macros for this. We want a macro called extra intervals. So I'm going to right click on this and map this to, let's see, 7. We got to pass it through. This will also be mapped to 7. And then this will be mapped to 7. So we'll call this extra intervals. Extra, I'll just call it extra. Why not? Now, if I turn this all the way up, it goes up to 6 dB here. And again, we don't want that. We want it to probably top out at 0. So I'm going to hit the, oh no. Oh no. Oh, okay. Sorry. I just got a big old error. Sorry for the buffering. Sorry for any buffering. I have Elon Musk internet. And it sucks huge rusty ass. Okay, so let's go back into map. I got to go into map for this instrument rack because this is where the original mapping is. And I'm going to go chain volume. We'll just have this max out at 6. Internet, I'd really love if you stop dropping frames. So when you're doing this, you get to decide how loud the user gets to make this. And I think 0 is still a little hot, so I'm going to go -4, -4. That sounds fucking great to me. And then the last macro for this section will be the amount of this auto pan thing. So I'm going to go to amount. I'm going to go map to macro 8, and I'm going to go to this and map to macro 8. I could have hit map to siblings, but I'm just decided not to. And then map to macro 8, and then this will be drift. Okay, that's it. So we've just made another rack. Just keep on making them. So what do we have? We have filter frequency. We have, and by the way, when we duplicated those sounds, we duplicated their mappings too. So we just like immediately got that. So we have this, we have shimmer. We have our extra intervals and drive. Get a little nastiness there. I like that. That's a good one. That's a really good one. And the final thing I do here is I come into the sample here, and I right click, and I say, I don't really actually have to crop this one. Let's see. Show in browser. That's in consolidate. What if I just took these and I put them into crop? And then I said, souls for you 01. And I said, souls for you 02. Yeah, this is a really interesting part of Ableton is this. And I'll be honest, I don't use this type of racking really often in my music production. I use it for what we're doing right now. It is a surprisingly powerful way of creating instruments. It's really, really neat. And a Bitwig can do it even crazier, like because they have what's it called? The grid, which we will do a stream on at some point. I love lentils too. Lentils are really good for you. Also legumes. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Let me show you another thing that I did in one of these that might be cool to you. Let me try this. Is it this one? No. These are spooky ones. Where is the one that I have? Where's the one that I have extra like arpeggiators in? Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, I mean, FL Studio is legit. Like, it's if you're good in it, like, it's going to be, like you said, difficult to give it up. Okay, so this one's fun. So here's the sound. Oh, this is the one. I think this is the one I played for you earlier. The one that I really liked. It gets better. Okay, so that's just the sample, right? But I added this. There's two synthesizers in here. Oh, I know, one synthesizer here. There's an Ableton operator, and this operator is just part of our main instrument rack here. Here's our main sounds. We'll get to this one at the bottom here. Here's our main sounds, and then operator here. It has a chord device on it. If I solo this and turn off the arpeggiator and turn this up, that's what that sounds like. So it's I press one note and it creates a seventh and a ninth above where I'm pressing. But after that, I've put an arpeggiator. So you hear that? That little... Wow, it's really quiet, isn't it? There it is. Hear that like sparkle? So this is going to happen whenever I press a key, and I can actually change the rate. And after that is a echo, and then it passes through all of our other effects. So you can sweeten things. You hear it just kind of glittering there. I like it. I think it's really cool. And it's going to scale to every note I play. And then finally, this sound right here is a really overdriven version of one of the earlier sounds. And it's got like, looks like an OTT and some overdrive. This is going to turn into a pulse. So all of these are controlled with one key, meaning played with one key. What's up, DOS Glitch? Yeah, the shimmer's really good. So then I can bring these back down, and we come right back down to this sound, the original. So it's just really fun what you can do with racks in Ableton. Eventually I'm going to have to go through all of these and do this color coding, because I did it once and now I have to do it to all of them, which will help people view the rack. For instance, like, these three colors are all part of the same effect. So it'll hopefully help people kind of get that. So let's go ahead and finish them up. I'm going to get through the rest of them here. And yeah, MPE actually would be really, really interesting with this stuff. I haven't tried it yet. I don't have a push 3 because Ableton has officially given up on me for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. Yeah, they as Zurium, you're absolutely right. They really, really are. Whenever I work with people in a lesson, I work with people doing music lessons and music tech lessons, and a lot of people will do something that I actually used to do a lot when I was just starting off as well, and that is really just go for like all these third-party plugins, like tons of third-party plugins, like all the Valhalla reverbs and like all like just anything, like you name it, all the Sound Toys plugins. It's basically like if something goes on sale, someone's like, "Ooh, I grab it," and then they'll use those instead of their getting to know their DAWs effects. And I think that's not the best way to be. I think, especially if you have something like FL Studio or Bitwig or Ableton or Logic. Logic shit's fucking crazy. Then you should really get to know it because it's good. Okay, so this one looks like it's almost done. That's a spooky one. I like it. Let's make sure that I have, show in browser. Okay, so this one's done. I can go ahead and color this my done color and move on. Yeah, Max for Live is also really, really cool. It's a little bolted on for my taste. I'd love to see it less bolted on. Oh, this looks like it's done as well. How long have I used Ableton, and what about the program keeps me from using it instead of others? Well, the first question probably answers the second question. I was an FL Studio user as my the DAW that I started really making like tunes in. I was a Fruity Loops user actually. Pro Tools doesn't count. Pro Tools sucks. Let's see. I was an FL Studio user for a really long time back when it was still just Fruity Loops and all it had was like the 3x OSC and shit like that. And then I decided to give Ableton a try for some fucking reason. And God, when was that? It's been a long time. I'd say probably like 10 years at the least. So I got a cracked copy of Ableton, and I started writing a EP in it. And actually, if you go onto my Bandcamp, here, I'll put this in the... I'll go ahead and put this in the chat, just because, you know, shameless self-promotion. Go to my Bandcamp real quick. So I was working on this. Where is it? Do I even have it on here? Yeah, this one, the mini mod EP. So this actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has this is 2 EPs stuck together. It's this link right here. So I started working on the first half of this EP, and I got like, I think like 75, 85% through it, and my cracked copy of Ableton decided to tell me it wasn't cracked anymore, which I thought was a very clever technique for copy protection. And so I bought it. I was like, you know, I was not in a great position to spend, you know, $400 on a fucking DAW at that point, but yeah, I mean, it worked, and I had put work into it, and I knew that I was going to put more work into it, and I've just become incredibly comfortable with Ableton. I can do everything that I want to in here, for the most part. And then if I can't do it in here, you know, I do it in like modular or something like that. And because of that, and here's my take on this. If you are trying to express yourself, like if you're trying to express yourself musically or through an artistic medium, when you find something that allows you to just seamlessly and transparently like go from like idea to expression and have it manifest, you don't really want to give that up. And sequencers and DAWs are like, and in some cases, like, you know, instruments, like I'll fully admit I'm returning my Roland Aerophone because I can't be arsed to like get better at a wind instrument again. I just can't do it. So the reason I don't use other stuff, and the reason even though I have Bitwig, I have been hesitant to like switch over to it, even just to learn it, is because one, all my time is monetized now, which is the curse of being a content creator. And two, I'm always trying to just express myself as quickly as possible. And right now, that's what Ableton does for me. Though I will promise I will be working in Bitwig at some point because it is interesting. And it just takes me a while to get to know it. So there's some frustrating things about how I don't understand it right now. So that's it. I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Make sure this one is done. Show in browser. Okay, so I need to crop sample. I'm trying to make these samples relatively easy for people to, I don't want to make the pack too big. Otherwise, these are going to be part of like gigantic samples. They're part of like a gigantic long sample. So we'll call this Cursed Transmission 01. Oh no, I don't want my URL in there. Cursed Transmission 01. And then Cursed Transmission 02. Wonderful. Oh man, we're so close. I know some of these don't have macros built into them, so we're going to have to do that. Oh, my puppy is asleep. I wish I could show you my puppy right now. All right, Dead Souls. I want screaming in the back of this one. So this is a situation in which I want to add another sound to this, and I'm not 100% sure what it is. Like, what would be in a transmission? Let's go find some. Let's find a sample to put that. If you need Bitwig help ever, drop me a line. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I've done one stream with Bitwig, and the chat was like very helpful in helping me find stuff. And that's pretty much where I am with it. Like, if people want me to work in Bitwig, I do need like assistance, because there are just small things that I'm like, where is this? Like, where is this sound? Oh, that's whatever that is. I'm using that. That's fine. You dare me to scream in it? I don't know. This one's pretty good, though. Like, I don't know what that is. These samples here, this whole group of samples that says OLPC, really weird source for these, and I don't remember where I got them. You can probably actually get these still. Let me see if I can find them real quick. Archive.org. OLPC. So there was this thing called the One Laptop Per Child Initiative, and they made this weird laptop, very strange looking laptop. Let me find it real quick. OLPC. Oh, it's still, yeah, it's still a thing. Oh yeah, here it is. Hold on. This fucking thing. Look at this thing. It's so fucking funny. So they released this. Look at this. I love it. It is such a friend. And on it, for some reason, one of the things they did was they had all of these sounds, samples that were made for it. And I don't know where to find these. But if you search for like OLPC audio files, you might be able to find it. I don't know why there were so many sounds made for it, but there's this huge archive of sounds like Snorlax having Taco Bell. Oh, gross. Snorlax is big. Snorlax would have some big Taco Bell dumps. Anyways, that's where these samples come from, and they're weird. I'm going to use both of these. I fucking love it. So let's go ahead and group these together. This is how computers should look. I agree. It is the peak computer shape. Hell, what about the trans agenda? That computer says trans rights. Wow, that's cursed. Oh, I love it so much. That's good. All right, let's take an auto filter. Actually, wait. What happens if we don't filter that? Yeah, we're gonna need to do something to that. So why don't we do this? Let's grab. Don't die, have fun. Fuck yeah. That is really good. I like that. Let's stick a vocoder at the end of these hell sounds, maybe. Let's see if we can get some. Yeah, EVP is what we're going for here. Oh no. Every time I hit a button in Ableton, like, pauses. I'm going to save. I haven't saved in a while. Yeah, EVP is what would be great here. Now there we go. Maybe bring the performance down. Oh yeah. That's creepy as shit. We'll hit loop and do a little bit of fade. Like that. And with this one, we'll hit loop and do a little bit of fade. Like that. Except the loop needs to go, hey, length. There we go. Hey, is anyone playing Remnant 2? Remnant from the Ashes, Part 2, More Ash. I've been playing through Remnant 1 again. Just curious if anyone's having fun with that. Well, Cool Breeze, I want to make sure that I don't break any, like, copyright stuff when, I have these samples. Oh, that's fucking great. That's perfect. So I'm not going to filter those down. I'm just going to, with the filter control, I'm just going to let those hang out there because they're creepy as shit. You just started playing Remnant 2? Yeah, we were talking, were we talking in the Discord about that, Aquatic? I can't remember. I don't even know if you're in the Discord, sorry. I gotta do some work on that drive. We're gonna do our utility trick. Let's just grab this utility right here, and we'll say map to dry wet. Drive, like that, and then we'll go ahead and hit map. And we'll go off drive and say -4 and 0. Yeah, the vibe I wanted to go for this with this was like the you can clearly hear him saying help me. Like in Event Horizon when they watch the video from the deck of the bridge and like it's just like this chaotic screaming. That's kind of what I was going for here. Dash, the Discord is not public. It is gated behind the Patreon. At the $2 level, you do get access to the Discord. It helps. It really does help keep the community sort of small and fun and like-minded. I know pay gating stuff is not everyone's thing, but it is good here. Aquatic, as somebody who has beaten Remnant 1 and is doing the same thing, playing it again, going into adventure mode and just like clearing out levels and getting all the later game loot and stuff like that is really, really good. Yeah, I love Sam Neill. He's fantastic. All right, we got 2 more macros to fuck with here. What are we going to do with these? Oh my god. Oh god, can we add that on top? Maybe this is just like... Now, what I really wish this had is a back and forth loop, right, a ping pong loop. All we have here is a forward loop, which is a little frustrating. Yeah, Remnant, the thing I love about Remnant is that it's basically Lovecraftian horror. It's basically Lovecraftian horror, which I really like. So I'm going to take this scary animal loop and we'll make this a layer that we can bring in. So when you have all your levels set to where you want, if you put a utility after that, you can just use that as your level control. Because it'll just go up to where you want. Oh, God, I still have to map that. Never mind. It's going to go up to 35. Let's fix that. So that would be right here. Yeah, okay. Random clicking and drooling sounds. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Let's see if we can find something else. Let's see. This will be animals. And then we'll go back into here and find another sound. Birds. Birds are scary, right? Crazy breathing? Oh, God. Okay, this is terrifying. Human animals. Wow. Oh, God. That is full-on Silent Hill right there. Yep, that's it. That's good. Well, we don't need white noise because if you listen at the top, when the frequency is all the way open, you can hear a very high noise floor. That's one of the things that Strega has going for it is it's just very easy for it to just spit out tons of high frequency noise. So we don't really need... oh, have a good nap. We don't really need any extra noise, so we'll be fine there. For this one, let's go ahead and attach its attack to the attack control. Same thing with this one. We'll go ahead and attach its attack to the attack control. And then we will come down to here and add audio effects utility, and map this to 8, and map this to 8, and I'll go ahead and map that up. Let's see, animals 2. Oh my god. That is really good. That is so fucking good. All right, we need to loop this last one right here. So we'll just hit loop. We'll do a little bit of fade. Let's see. What is it, like that? Yeah. Fade and then loop all the way to length. That is fucking great. All right, let's make sure that at the end we get a good amount of volume. Bring this compressor down like that. Was that an antelope? You would know better than I would. I'm not an antelope. Oh no. Antelope master. That is fucking great. Oh yeah, one thing that's going on with this that I'd like to show you is, first of all, I have to turn off retrigger here. One of the things that's happening in here that's good is that these sounds, like here's our rumble. Let's go ahead. Let's listen to these two. One thing you can do to make it sound unsettling, and I believe I'm doing that here. Yeah, so we have a really slow LFO on the pitch. So you're going to hear there. So that's going to, both of these sounds that are left and right have a slightly different interpretation of that pitch. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and change this to 0.08. So now they'll phase. And so they're both kind of like going up and down in a creepy way. And then so is our rumble down here as well. It's got a bit of phase, excuse me, a bit of pitch moving on it too. So that's going to create a really unsettling expression of sound. Whenever you hear, like, excuse me, let me back up. When you're listening to like horror soundtracks or movie soundtracks or suspenseful things, do listen for like pitch instability, because that's one thing that will really kind of like drive it home. Yes, dissonance makes things unsettling. You are right. Sounds like we have a little too much limiting, so I'll go over here like that. Yeah, we're on the streets in a Blade Runner movie, if the Blade Runner movie is also fucking Dead Space. All right, that one's done. Cross it off. Oh wait, no, I didn't do my crops. Let me do my crops real quick. Get in here. Sound. Did I do this? Let's see. Show in browser. No, we're still in freezes. So crop sample, crop sample, crop sample, and then just for fun, we'll crop this sample, this sample, this sample, which isn't really doing anything. Crop sample. Okay, great. Now they're all in here. So let's see. This is called Dead Souls. We'll call this Dead Souls Animals 01. And then this will be Dead Souls Animals 02. This will be Dead Souls Animals 03. And then this will be Dead Souls 01. This is the fun part, right? This is the really fun creative part. 3. And then Human Animals 02. So we have Dead Souls Animals 04. Animals 04. So my friend Jay, actually worked on sound for Dead Space. I lived in the Bay Area for a long time and met Jay. He was a really great guy. He passed away really young, unfortunately, and his birthday was just the other day. So I get to talk about him. Haha, Jay White. If you look up his name, it's like just Jay and then White. You'll see some articles about him. So it was always really interesting talking to him about his work in video games. He did a bunch, but Dead Space was one of the ones that I was mostly interested in, and he worked on 2. He was the one that told me about like how they sampled the BART train going underneath a tunnel in the Bay to get the sound of the tram. The sound of the tram in Dead Space is from BART, and it's a terrible sound, and that's what it sounds like. But also how like, you know, they just got like a bunch of meat. They got a lot of meat that they sampled from, which I love. I think that's great. I think Dead Space, I like all 3 Dead Spaces games. I don't fucking care what people say. I love them. All right, what do we have here? We got drive. Great. We have attack. Great. What the fuck else are we going to add to this? I hate that I feel like I have to fill in all the macros. Oh, so annoying. All right. What are we going to do here? Yeah, it's kind of got this weird chiptune vibe for it. It's very strange. I don't know how that is. I think it's because it's the noise. Because like chiptune, I'm assuming that's what you mean by Dungeons of the Endless. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't played that. But I think it's because in chiptune music, you know, we're dealing with low bit rates and low sample rates. So we get very noisy high end. We get bit reduction, which reduces the number of, here, I'll show you real quick. So if we take a sound like just a simple synth. Oops. That's not a simple synth. Make this like a square wave. And let's just put an arpeggiator on it for fun. MIDI effects, arpeggiator. One voice, please. Ooh, Terror is a good one. That's good. I like that. We'll do that. So here's a square wave. And if we go in here and grab drive and color. Uh-oh. My puppy just got up. I'm scared. So here's bitrate. Starts to alias the top end of stuff. Excuse me, that's sample rate. And then bitrate eventually will add sort of a noise until it just completely destroys the sound. So you get this really nasty high end. This will be really obvious if we stick like a reverb after this. So let's do that real quick. This. Well, let's basically remake Strega. See how the high end just gets all like weird? So that's sample rate reduction. And then that's bit rate reduction. So I think part of what we're reacting to here is the fact that Strega has a very complex and noisy high end that kind of almost follows a chiptune concept. Almost. What were we on? This thing? So let's try that. What do I have going on here? Oh, we already have some pitch instability. What if I turn... No, that's not going to work. Why do I have so many things here? What the fuck are you? Okay, let's make some extra intervals. That's what we'll do here. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Oh, okay, I know. We're going to do a couple things here. So, first of all, 6 is going to go to here. And we're going to say 6. So this is going to be soloize. And we're going to do a reverse. Oh, wait. What did I just do? Oh, no. I do want that. I'm a dumbass. Okay. So here, soloize. We're going to do a reverse macro thing. So I hit map. And we're going to actually take... Oh, we have to do it here. I'm sorry. Map. We're going to go 0 for minimum and negative infinite for this. So what this will do is give us the ability to solo this instrument right here, which I think is cool as shit. So, like this. Yeah, Hyperlight Drifter is definitely a what do you call it? What's the word? Inspiration. It's an inspiration, but that's all Disaster Piece. You know, that's what he does. So this one, I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a 7th. This one will pan. And then this one will pan to the right, and this will be another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Group these. Welcome back, Shani. We'll call this extra. Map this to 7. Call this extra intervals. Map this to 7. And then go ahead and change the amount. Go ahead and do that here. Cool, and then we'll do that drift thing, the auto pan drift thing. So, instruments, audio effects, pitch and modulation, auto pan. We'll stick one here and turn it up. Well, we don't really need to turn it up yet, but we will in a second. Map this to 8. Copy. Oh, I need to put that in here. I'm a dumbass. I'm a big dumbass. Map this here, and then rate. Cool, and then amount to 8. And then can I say map to all siblings? Great. And then map to 8. Drift. We did it. God, we're so good at this. All right. Well, stranger, I mean, what I'm getting out of this is Ableton. Oh, I love how that sounds. The Strega is really interesting, but there's a couple things about it that I don't like, and one of them is the fact that it's unbearably noisy, and 2, that it's not stereo. Actually, that's it. The Strega needs to be stereo. Like, it pisses me off that the reverb is not stereo, because I think it's designed after the verb reverb. from Make Noise, and that one is stereo. So it's like, I should have just put the herb verb in it. To a turn indicator. That's a great sound. Yes, just get 2 Stregas. I don't like this, how quick this loop is happening here. So what I might actually do for this sound is warp it. Ooh, now we've got crackling. Oh my god, why did that send my CPU up to like 100%? It has a karaoke delay chip? Are you fucking kidding me? That's what's in there? That's really funny. That's good. I like that right there. Oh, not that. So a little bit of warping. We cannot use complex because that's going to send our thing up. This is actually a really CPU intensive thing. Look at that. What? Look at that. Hi, RRR. Okay, let's crop. Let's crop. Crop. And then go into here. Crop. No, I don't think I needed to crop all these as individual samples, but what the fuck ever. We're just going to do that. All right. Show in browser. This is literally the same sample. So what we're going to do here is call this Ascension pad lead. And we're just going to take this sound and go like this. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. And then same thing with this one right here. We don't need like 6 copies of the same fucking sound. That's stupid. They chose it for the low quality of it. So they basically circuit bent it because like it's pretty fucking wild in there. Also because of the free CD of lyric free pop hits that comes with each one. Yeah, I mean, can't really argue with that. That is a really good sound, friends. I like that. Herb Verb is digital. Yeah. It's unabashedly digital, but it does have some of the like, it does have some of the vibe that what do you call it? The Strega reverb does. I have to go check on my dog. She left, and I am the only one here today. My big dog, Riker, and my partner Brian are off going to a very expensive dog dentist because he hurt his tooth. So we're going to go ahead and I'll be right back.
Lady, Can't you see? You're my delight. Lady, I just feel like I won't get you out of my mind. I feel love for the first time, and I know that it's true. I can tell by the look in your eyes. Give me tonight, 'cause my feeling is just so right.
People, you know, they have personas. They're like, I want to be an animal person. I just want to be that lizard. That's all I want to be. All right, what are we gonna do with this one? Same thing. Let's just do the same thing. How you gonna pay the rent as a goldfish dentist? That is some deep fucking shit. Duplicato. Take this one up to 19. Higher. Elden Ring has a lot of those lizards. Yeah, but only one of them's friendly. And I really like, it'd be cool if like all the lizards in Elden Ring were just like, yeah, let's dance. But no, they want to kill you. And they're really hard. That whole section with the rooftops, that section is really difficult. Do 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 chomp, and then chomp. Extra intervals. I love just forcing chords onto things like that, or forcing intervals. It sounds really good. All right, so then we'll do our auto pans. Let's grab auto pan. Doopy bob it up. You couldn't get past the crap control scheme on PC, keyboard, and mouse. Well, yeah. Oh my gosh, you didn't know? There's... Okay, I can't spoil this for you. There's a quest with a certain NPC in that manor, in Volcano Manor, who may not seem exactly like what she is at first, but if you complete her quest, you will find out that there is a friend. You have a friend. Paul, I am making instruments out of Strega sounds from my Make Noise Strega video. I'm creating a bunch of instruments. Looks like we're going to have about 42 if I don't delete one or two. So right now I've done all the sampling and I've done all the like, you know, like the things are pretty much made, but I'm adding stuff to like fill in the macros and stuff. So you've missed a big chunk, but of context, but you can always go back and check it out. Yeah, I don't want to spoil the Volcano Manor friendly lizard quest for you. It's a little hard to finish. I think I never quite got it to do the right thing. Oh, did she start off in the lakes? Okay, thank you for the tips. She's a good girl. She's got a little back problems, but, you know, it's to be expected. She's doing her best. How about a notch filter? I really like notch filters. They can sound really cool. So we'll grab an auto filter and we'll stick it right, I think, after our overdrive or before. Let's see. Yeah, this is like the longest I've ever streamed. What's up, Neon Katra? How's your big ass Polly doing today? Hey, ja. Yeah, that sounds good as hell. Map to macro 8. The burbs will never leave. So this will be notch. Whoops, that's not how you spell notch. N-O-T-C-H. You better find the lizard. God, I love notch filters. Oh, you're all about the Hydrasynth now? Fair enough. I understand that. So we need to stick a limiter and a compressor. You put your 4-month-old to sleep with a Strega? Are you sure your daughter is not an elder creature of dark intent? I had to work really hard to get that thing to sound pretty. Crop sample, and then these are the same as the other ones, so we don't need to crop. Hi, little one. What are you doing? What are you thinking about? Thinking about doing something bad? Lateralus pad lead. 01. And then I'm pretty sure that these are duplicated from this one or this one. I think they're duplicated from the second one. So we'll go like this. Oh, that doesn't look right. Maybe the first one? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know which one. How about we do that? And now we'll find out which one it is. Wow, it's neither. Okay. Doot, 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 doot. Do 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 do. Samsonite's Galactic Ass Polly does sound like a pretty amazing name for something. I don't know what. Sounds like almost like a D&D thing. I love a wall of less noisy ambient type sounds too. That's why I got into modular. Whoa, CPU go burr. Jesus. All right. Change this to texture. Oh, that sounds cool. What am I going to add to this? I'm getting so tired of doing the same thing. Everything is ambient. That's deep. That's really deep. Why do I have two uncertainty principles? Jesus Christ. Oh, because this one's actually called Behind the Mirror. There we go. Oh no! Oh no! Why did that happen? Because I have Pro Warping on. Hey, Ari, that's great news. A WUB envelope on this. Let's see, what are we using? Yeah, we could do it. We could do a WUB. Let's do a WUB. So I will go, it'll sort of sound like an auto filter, like an auto wah kind of thing. So let's go ahead and take this down and solo this. Sounds like Onio Tricks Point Never. Well, now you know how they do their thing. It's all just Strega. What if we did 2 auto filters and they each had a different each had a different rate? Keep that stereo thing going. I like that. That's cool. All right, so how are we gonna get this to work? Well, we have to bring the amount up while we bring the frequency down. So we're gonna map this to macro 1. We're also gonna map this to macro 1. And we'll call this filter. And then we'll go ahead and hit map. And so all the way down, the filter needs to be all the way up. And then this needs to be around here. Why am I still hearing what sounds like a filter? Oh, I know why. Because I didn't map to siblings. So map to sibling and map to sibling. Strega into Aurora is interesting. I actually, I got rid of my Aurora. Am I using the stock verb, Ari? I'm using a combination of grain delay with the pitch turned up to create feedbacking octaves into the reverb. I do explain this earlier, but yeah, that's what's going on for the sound here. I got rid of Aurora. I found that it didn't work for the kinds of sounds that I make in modular. And in the video that I did for it, you'll notice that I used the DAW to send all the sounds into it as opposed to modular. And I think that it really benefits from high complexity sounds as opposed to simple oscillators, I think. So we'll map this on through, map this to 6. There we go. We'll call this wah. And then let's go ahead and take this frequency amount, map this to macro 2, and then map this to macro 2. And what we'll do is we'll create a spread of... Oops, what did I do there? I fucked up. Map to macro 2. You shouldn't be there. Cool. What is going on here? I fucked up something. Okay, great. Map to macro 2, and then map to macro 2. It is map to macro 2. Great. So now we're going to go into map, and we'll switch this from all the way up at 10,000 hertz. One of these will be 6, 7, and the other one will be 8. And now These will have like a phasing wah feeling to it, which I think is pretty fucking cool. Paul, great question. Yes, I absolutely have different sessions. I don't do sound design. Yeah. I do not do. I mean, I do sound design while I'm working in songs, but what we're doing right here is completely different. This is this is to make a pack for people to buy. So like this is a very different type of creative activity. One that I've been enjoying a lot lately. I'm planning on making a ton of content in terms of packs. I'm working on a Digitact thing. I'll have some Mellotron packs coming out for live soon. Let's see, we'll call this filter rate. I've got to respond to my partner real quick. My doggy is in the procedure room, so they can check out his tooth. Wonderful. And then my little doggy is over there by the front door. All right. So we need one thing. So Michael, my plan for the Digitact first and foremost is I'm making a pack that is going to have all the Amiga tracker sounds in it as instruments. That's what I'm working on, and it's going to be a long time, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to organize it, but that's what I want to try to do. My dog, Riker, when our little dog, Echo, went into heat for her first heat, neither my partner nor I were really knowing what to expect, and it was fine for her. She didn't really seem to change her behavior at all, but Riker, our intact male dog, had a real hard time with it. And he was always trying to get to her, and so we'd like kennel him, but he actually bit at the kennel to try to get out of it and cracked a tooth. So that's why he's at the dentist right now. No, I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to put release as a control here. Let's say map to siblings. 6. Oh, fuck. Let's see. I'm just going to be really lazy. Map to 7, map that, and then map to... let's see. Map to all siblings, and then map to 8, and map to all siblings. So then it will be attack, decay, sustain, and sustain, and release. Wait, sustain, 7. Get over there. Thank you. Release. Okay, so something is not following the rule, it sounds like. Oh, I'm on the wrong fucking thing. Wow, I'm a goddamn idiot. I'm here. Okay. We'll just do release for this one. Release. And release. I found it asks, real novice when it comes to do you have any suggestions for beginner guides or suggestions for software? Okay, so I have a video about this. I found it. It's called Introduction to Electronic. Is that what I called it? Yeah, here we go. Here's a video for you. It depends on what your relationship with music is. If you already know music somewhat well, then you just need to learn interface. And well, you don't. It's not just learning interface. There's so many things that you have to keep in mind when doing this stuff. Like, try and focus on like starting to just play. I think like starting to play with whatever you can get your hands on in terms of making music. If you have an iPad, fuck with an iPad. If you have a phone, get some apps like Andrew Huang has a really cool sampler app called Flip. That could be fun. You have a lot of things that you need to start like practicing and understanding, and it's too much for me to really go into right now. But I do try to go into it in that video, and hopefully that'll give you some framework. But in terms of just starting out, I would just say like whatever you can access, and if that means cracking a piece of software or torrenting a piece of software, then do that. You know, like we don't always have the cash or to start off with things. I would be nowhere without having cracked most of my first DAWs and plugins for like 5-6 years. So, yeah, it's too big a question for right now. Check out the video, see if it knocks anything loose, and then if you have an Android, if you have a phone or whatever, yeah, VCV Rack is a great suggestion. Yeah, for modular synthesis, it's super good. Really, but I can't stress this enough. Like, all the advice in the world about what to get and where to start means nothing if you aren't trying to make stuff. Like, making stuff is how you figure out where you are in the process. It's how you start to realize like the scope of what you may know and what you may not know, and you start asking questions. You're like, why does my mix not sound the way I want it to? Like, why don't my arrangements sound the way I want them to? And those questions are going to lead you to looking up information. YouTube's a difficult place for me to recommend, but I think the signal to noise ratio on YouTube is pretty like towards noise. So don't get lost in like YouTube tutorial hell. Just really make stuff. And when you run into a specific problem, try to just like look into what that specific problem has for solutions. That's the best sort of generic advice I can give you. Yeah, Ableton does have some great links. So yeah, learning music from Ableton. That's a great suggestion. Tintorial did just get a big upgrade. Yep. I was supposed to do a video on it, but I guess they can't afford me. That's fair. Reaper is free. Well, it's not free. It's sort of like a perpetual license thing. So, oh, I like that. Let's take that down. Oh, there's a little hiding sound. That's fancy. Well, we'll attach that. We'll call this sneaker. Ding dong. Yeah. Ha ha ha. So sneaker will go up to 0 dB. Maybe we'll put in some more sneakers. So let's go back to our remix fodder. I agree, AJ. It's actually really hard. I mean, it's hard for me too. It's not easy to. It's life isn't easy. It's really hard to be like consistently creative and have drive and all that stuff. And I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. It's just inherently difficult. Renoise is a good suggestion too. That tracker format's pretty cool. Extra interval. Bell. Everyone loves a bell. I think both Michael and Rob just nailed it on the head. Just trying to do a little bit here and there and realizing that like every little bit that you do is a form of practice. Like you just if you just keep yourself in the process of being engaged with the thing that you want to do, and you'll always find little ways to improve at it. I like that. That's good. How are we doing on volume on that? Just fine. Let's check our drive. Drive is good. All right, great. So we just need to crop this. Acropolis. That's the same, and that is not. Okay. Crop. Crop. And corrupt. Show in browser. So we'll call this behind the mirror 1. And it will go into here, and it will go into here. And then this one. Get rid of this. And then this is behind the mirror too. Bloody mysterious. Ruddy mysterious. Genuinely unintuitive but free. That's good. I like that. Okay, here's the one that we just added a bunch of envelope controls to. Let's see if this is good or not. Wow. Okay, why did... Oh, because our sustain is down. Ooh. Now that's fucking good. I love it when they feel like almost like kind of muscularly foreboding, if that makes any sense. It's very a Hollywood sound where it's just like super overdriven low end, just like feels like it's breaking up. I love it to death. Show in browser. This is so those are all three the same. Great. This is Uncertainty Principle. One. So let's get that in there. This goes here. This goes here. And I think it goes... Where else does it go? I think is it just those two? Oh, this one's shorter. I see. Okay. And then we have uncertainty. Oh my god, stop. So that was this one, right? No. What is it? Probably that, right? It has to be that. Sure. The yellow duck dab. Gotta do the yellow duck dab. Do I have a dabbing GIF? Let's see if we have a dabbing GIF. Let's go on to Tenor.com. Dab. Whoops. Dab. Pikachu dabbing. I need something with like a white background. A lot of these are really a lot of work. Oh, this one's pretty good. A lot of these are just cringe. This is my favorite one. All right, we're going to stick with what we have. Oh, that's good. That's fucking nasty. All right, almost there, everybody. All right, so I know the first thing I want to do with this one. So we're just going to go ahead and make this super easy. 6 and 7 will be the balance of those two first chains. So we can bring in bass as we want. We'll call this bass 01 and bass 02. And we'll map these to 0 dB. Like that. Do the kids still dab? I don't know. Do they? I never... Wait, they don't dab anymore? That's very sad. I never even really got to dab. And then I guess we'll just do this. I'm running out of steam. This will be layer 3. Dabbing is dead. Did anything replace dabbing? Did anything replace dabbing? I have to know. Wait, what is vaping and crying? Wait, we're back at planking? Planking's back? Fortnite dancing? Oh no. Isn't there a Fortnite dab dance? There. That's the end of dabbing. That's it. I just killed it. I don't even know if I did it right. That's how bad I am at it. I wish that every time I attempted to dab, I got like a bass boost sound. You know that sound? That's what I want every time I dab. I want the whole world to do that. This is Tragonimal. Why did I name these such stupid bullshit? Just make up a word. Planking's not back. Look, you have to fuck. You can't fuck with me. How's that? Is that what you were looking for? Oh my god, we only have 3 more. So actually, I don't know how the bass boost sound... I tried doing bass boost sound. I don't know if it's like clipping or what, but it's like, it's such a specific sound. I tried to remake it, and I actually had a really hard time with it. I don't know what it is. Peanuts gang. Peanut gang, peanut gang, peanut gang. Oh, that's loud. You want a donk? Slab donk. I don't know what that means. That sounds bad. Is it a distorted sub bass? Yeah, probably. There we go. There's a donk. Yeah, Shawnee, I'm not really popular with the kids. I don't think. I'm old. I'm a fucking old piece of shit. I had to learn how to make the donk sound. It's such a great sound, and I love FM bass sounds so much. So you just gotta know what the donk is. There's some bass boost for you. All right, let's add some more creepy sounds to this. Let's add some more of those like terrible sounds that we had earlier. What do we got down here? That's cool. How terrible can we make the sound? So what we're going to do is we're going to double it in length. Turn off warp. Oh, excuse me. We just need to turn it down. Excuse me. Control, transpose, -12. Reverse it, because that'll make it weirder. I'm a little concerned as to this gigantic thing right there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'll group this. Hey, group. Where'd group go? Group. Oh, I have to group it here. I'm a fucking dumbass. To the right, to the left, to the right, And then we'll go ahead and put this one here. Loop for both. That's terrifying. Now, one thing we can do here is I want to go into, is it key? That sounds like fucking Silent Hill nonsense. I love that so much. Oh my god, why is that so fucked up? Wow. That's legitimately terrifying. I'll just call that hell. Great. I got some hell. Let's go ahead and make sure that hell doesn't get too loud. Oh, I love it. That's fucking great. Yes, the video was prophetic. We are in hell now. Okay, what else can we do with this? What else do I want to do with this? Oh yeah, this is actually the new Spice Girl signal. Sorry, I wasn't made that clear. But how about we make these a thing? 7, yeah, and then 7, and then 7. We'll call this main drain. I don't know. Just make up words now. You confuse Mr. Bill and Mr. Beast. Yeah, she's this. If you listen really closely, you can hear them saying, "Tell me what you want, what you really, really want." But it's like backmasked, and also they are sacrificing something. Something. Yeah, Ned and Tom, fucking kick ass. Shammy, I believe that it has something to do with the with dabbing. I think dabbing going away has caused the heat wave. Okay, I can work with that. Let's add some creepy vocals to this group. Left. We are going for full like weirdness. So this is all good here. Just make it really strange. And this is, we do want this to match to C, so that needs to go up 3 semitones. 1, 2, 3. And this needs to go up 3 semitones. 1, 2, 3. Let's attack this to attack. Just pass some of this through to attack. And like that. Yeah, backmasking is reverse tape stuff. So you record something to the tape reversed, I believe. It's how like the Beatles and stuff put like Paul is dead or whatever on like the bullshit for one of their albums. So I'm going to go ahead and do that pitch destabilization thing to this. I'm going to turn the pitch LFO up a little bit, turn this down. Same thing to this one, pitch up, pitch down, or excuse me, pitch modulation up and hertz down. We need to loop these because right now they are not looped. Like that. And do this and some fading, and then loop and some fading. Aleister Crowley is a freak. But we already knew that. Okay, I want to give these. Let's see. So this is hell, and then these are vocals. I think this is going to be the last one we do today. I got two more, but I'm not going to make you let me sit here for the rest of this. I'm getting a little burnt out. I think we've had a good time though. Hope we've had a good time. Vocals, drain. Yes, I don't remember, Michael, what track that was. Yeah, the Freak Show plugins are really, really cool. I think it feels like it should be the one where it's like, fuck, it's from Kid A or something. Like, it's got a really kind of a chill little beat. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I think that is a thing. Who needs musicality? No one. I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them down a octave each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's -9. And -9, baby. Yeah, that's much creepier. Wow. It's amazing what you can get out of like 2 notes. No, I honestly don't know what context this sound would be used for. I mean, it is very horrific, but like, you know, like at this point it's so big, I'm not really sure what we'd use it for. It does kind of sound like maybe something you'd hear on like a radio in like a creepy game. Let's crop it. Crop it. Crop it. Crop it. Come here. Come here. I guess there is the whole like dark ambient genre that we, you know, got in like the Sinister movie. That was pretty fun. Crop it and crop it. Sleep ambience for goths. Yeah, I agree. And I'm okay with that. That's great. All right. So this is called Listen for Their Coming. Coming. Wait, I have something for this. Listen for their coming. There we go. That was it. A TV advert for raisins. Yeah. Now I want to make that. All right, is that it? Oh, what do we got down here? This is a big one. Singapore, and then synth jungle 01 and safety briefing on an aeroplane. I like, you guys have a good sense of humor. I like it. All right, that's it, everybody. Let me find something nice to play us out on. What do we got? Yeah, actually a Mega Mart ad. You're right. Okay. We're going to be done. Thank you all for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. Helped me get some work done. I hope you learned something about Ableton racks, and I promise that I will release this in a couple weeks. I just released a pack of textures to what's it called? To my Gumroad. So yeah, scumroad.com, red means recording. If you want to check out some of that stuff, I got all kinds of shit up there. Thanks for coming. Probably don't need that much limiting on there. I hope you all have a good day. Do crimes. Be gay, do crimes. I will give the doggo a kiss. Y'all take care.